Watch the whole video to find all the hidden anime girls. Who are you in a post-apocalyptic world? Dead. Statistically, it may be hard to argue with this. The guy desperately looking for a Wi-Fi connection. Yes. Finally. What is it, Kenny Luck? Did you find some food? Water? Shelter? No, I can finally play that YouTube video where the cat plays the piano. My only post-civilization skill is that I can garden a little bit, so I'd be the victimized farmer. Any of you guys who start up the mutant/non-mutant biker gang, you beat me up and abuse me for my carrots. Eventually I'll make the mistake of trying to help the drifter from across the wastes with a secret past, and you guys can kill me with my own carrots in an ironic twist. Look forward to working with you. The woman who repopulates Earth. Somebody's gotta do it. Tack in one for the team. If I survive the initial disaster/outbreak/whatever to help to rebuild, then I'd be the one scavenging libraries. I'm a qualified librarian and have training in knowledge and records management. I'd want to try to make myself useful in researching how we used to do things, so we could relearn all those old methods of doing things that Western society is starting to forget. Generally speaking, I expect many communities wouldn't have this knowledge after an apocalypse, but all would need it. Stuff like midwifery, basic first aid, ways to make candles and soap, edible plant life, food preservation techniques. So yeah, finding out what we need to know to rebuild and survive, then trying to disseminate and preserve this knowledge. The weird nice guy who betrays you in the end for your goodies. I have this warped image of me becoming an instant badass. I don't know how I expect it to happen, but I imagine myself becoming a cold-hearted, fearless, ass-kicking, ass-groping Nazi/robot/zombie hunter the second the apocalypse goes down. I seriously don't know how the hell I expect to go from a lazy, middle-class talentless white person to ducking Max Payne without all the depressing backstory. With my luck, patient 0. I'm the guy who gets that old generator going when we desperately need power. All good until some jerk steps on my only pair of glasses. Then I'm totally ducked. The guy who loots all the pharmacies and does all the drugs until he's dead. Sounds sad, but that's probably what I'd end up doing. The guy who tries to break up and fight between two guys and gets shot and teaches the whole camp a lesson about control. They just leave me there, by the way. Nah man, don't talk like that. They wouldn't leave you there. They'd for sure eat you. I live in a very rural area. The way I see it, this will be one of the last places to see infection/get attacked, so I have some time to prepare. As well, the grid system here is amazing. A road every 2.5 miles in all directions, so transportation won't be a problem. I can see myself being one of the searchers, someone to go out and try and gather supplies for the community that would start on one of the large rural farms. Maybe be the guy to scout out new members. I'd be the one who spent most of his free time learning random shit that suddenly becomes extraordinarily useful. Example, build and use bow/slingshots, find clay and make ceramics, fix engines, make basic tools, start a fire, know Morse code, intermediate electronics repairs. In addition to this, I have no problems with killing and eating fellow survivors. The first person to discard civility and morality. The guy who keeps my zombie best friend in a leash and would play video games with him from time to time. Will you sit at the Winchester and wait for it all to blow over? I like to think I'm a somewhat sociable/amicable guy. I'm also somewhat of a subtle manipulative person. I'm the kind of guy who doesn't want to be the leader of the survivor group. I would much rather be the guy who subtly leads from the background, conveniently whispering advice to the apparent leader. No need be tied down with all this responsibility. Much better to chill in the background. King of Canada. You would have to find me to rule me. That guy that was off backpacking when it all happened and just stayed out in the wilderness when I found out. The post-apocalyptic John Moo. Ha, have you seen what happens to backpack guy in The Walking Dead? Poor backpack guy. I live in Australia, so probably just get on with life as normal. Everything tries to kill you here anyway. Oh no, now that deadly venomous snake is now a zombie snake. Better continue not getting anywhere near it. One of the first people to get a zombie virus from ducking a zombie, or some disease from ducking a mutant or something like that. I would not be surprised when zombie bukkake becomes a thing in Japan. The person trying to use a tree trunk as an electrical outlet. I live in the South Island of New Zealand, so most of us would probably become simple hobbits. There are still 8 sheep for every person in this country. What about zombie sheep? Then you'd really be fucked. The Vault Dweller. Twist, you were an overseer in Vault 11. The girl who goes nuts after everyone she loves turns into a zombie, but isn't brave enough to just let them bite her, and continues on till she goes mental. I'm the guy that will shoot you if you get too close to my living space. Get off my lawn. I'm a zombie apocalypse prepared Alaskan with 3 main plans for 5 different apocalyptic scenarios, several fallback plans in different safe house locations, multiple weapon stores, and food/water stores. I will be the last of us. Edit. I'm not a tinfoil hat guy. I live a normal life. I do not lead on my preparedness. I just feel it's better to be ready for anything. And if I'm wrong, I'm no worse off than the next guy. But if shit doth hit mine fan, then I shall have the last laugh. I'm the lookout. My keen sense of sight will detect the slightest movement in the far distance. All those years of playing shooting games have paid off. I'll probably be the first jackass to get all their stuff stolen. The guy that caused it. You jackass. Smeagol. Desperate, opportunistic, and would throw my grandmother under a truck if it would benefit me. Survival of the fittest, bitches. I guess I'd be that lonely guy in an armor-padded overcoat with a crossbow and a .44 Magnum. Rick or Daryl, you can only choose one. I'm the guy breaking into the pharmacy immediately. Probably best to avoid the Russian break into a pharmacy now. If I wasn't dead, I would be the guy who stays behind with the bomb to make sure it goes off, killing the nearby raiders/zombies/mutants/bad guys after being ignored for most of the adventure. And you're the saddest part. Either kill myself before I die in a horrific death, or join a group of survivors. Handyman. I've got a lot of outdoor survival skills that would probably make me a very prized possession. I can find and purify food and water, do first aid, fix a generator, and I can clam people down even when I'm ready to shit myself. If you're going to try to clam me down, you better have some big muscles. I'm the guy silently crying in his closet with his door locked, saying over and over, I'm sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry. I couldn't do anything. Someone help me. This isn't happening. And so is everyone else in this thread, no matter what they say. Maybe a supremely nice guy that helps all comers, sacrificing my food and shelter for the greater good. Maybe a real duck-in scumbag who murders and steals to advance my own plans just that tiny extra bit. The worrisome part is that I honestly don't know which I'd be. Literally Herschel. That infinite ammo shotgun could come in handy. I'm good. I have an undemanding metabolism. I'm thin and require very little food, and I have no problem walking 20 miles a day. I've got a small rifle and hundreds of rounds of ammo, half of which are subsonic, quieter if not quiet. I also have a lot of experience with wilderness survival, first aid, shelter, and fire building, tree climbing, hunting, edible plants, snares and fish traps, etc. I'm also nocturnal. I'll be just fine. That guy who mostly keeps to himself because realizes he's better off not having to deal with other people, so basically the same as in normal life. I have a bar that used to be a cinder block convenience store where there are dancers, apple brandy, and mixed meat, cat/squirrel/rabbit, burgers on sourdough buns with homemade ketchup along with baked home fries. I accept damn near anything. The bouncers get paid in meals and or are there keeping an eye on their dancer girlfriends. You just won the apocalypse. I'd probably end up being that Irish paper guy from Waterworld. I'm type 1 diabetic, so I'd be the guy raiding pharmacies for insulin. I'm a doctor too, so I'd probably move from pharmacy to pharmacy helping people who come in with their medical issues. Sounds like a good post-apocalyptic vocation. Doesn't insulin have a fairly short shelf life? That dude who just hangs on to some random group who no one wants to kill, but never actually contributes anything. I'd be the guy going from house to house, looting everything, but when other humans come by, I hide in a nearby alley. To be honest, I would probably be a bandit. I've never really felt like I would be one of those hero figures in post-apocalyptic movies. So yeah, I would be that guy ducking your day up and taking all your shit. Not really sure what type of apocalypse we are talking about here, but I'd probably just go home, grab my grandparents, uncles, aunts and cousins from the surrounding countryside and then hunker down on my aunt's land. Grab my dad's bulldozer, dig a moat, put up a fence outside/inside said moat, and then just live until society re-established itself. That is if I made it home before dying. The one fat guy who outran a zombie. Comment what the best or worst story was. Also remember to subscribe for more Reddit and anime girls.